It's time for your morning cup of motivation, thanks to our next guest, who is a master life coach, author, and inspirational speaker. We like to call it our Motivational Wednesdays, and we are so happy to welcome back to the show this morning, David Essel, the one and only. Good morning.
Carly, thank you. Good morning.
All right, we're going to be in trouble this morning on this topic because we can talk for a long time.
Yes.
This is so interesting to me. We're going to talk about emotional affairs. And I think, a lot of times when people talk about affairs, it's physical affairs, which you say this can be just as damaging and hurtful for couples,
yes,
emotional
absolutely.
affairs. But the good news is they can also be just as you can get over an emotional affair as well.
You can heal. The number one reason why emotional affairs are so damaging is because it's a 100% breaking of trust. So a physical affair is 100% breaking of trust, but there's no difference. They're equal. If you have an emotional affair going on and your partner doesn't know about it, most of the time they don't for quite a while, you're breaking trust. And the definition of an emotional affair...
I was going to say, what is it? How do you define what it is?
Exactly. It's sharing intimate information with a member of the opposite sex that you would not say if your partner was standing there.
Okay.
Like, that's the cleanest definition you could find. So if you're talking about the fact that, my partner and I only make love once every 6 months and it really bothers me, and you're sharing that with a member of the opposite sex, you're shattering trust. If you're talking about, my partner is an emotional spender and every penny I make, she's out there blowing it or he's out there gambling it away. That's emotional affair. And so what we want to do is look at that as just as serious, because if you don't, then the next step after an emotional affair, of course, oftentimes they lead into physical.
Do emotional affairs lead to a physical affair?
Only about 40% of the time. Now,
okay,
I say
that's
only.
Interesting. Right, I mean, it's still a lot.
It's still a high percentage, but a lot of people are getting their needs met through someone else that they're not getting their needs met at home.
And I think one way that's making this maybe a little bit easier than maybe 10, 15 years ago is social media.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Carly. We'll just say with Facebook. We'll just stay with Facebook. Not that Facebook is, the spawn of Satan or something like that. But, Facebook is a real big problem. And I was working with a couple, and the wife came in. She was just all upset because her husband was liking one person's post on Facebook only. And it was a woman, and it was someone who was attractive, and so here he is every day pushing that like button, and she was freaking out, and of course he came in saying, what, it's just this.
Yeah.
But that liking it, is breaking the trust, and then it easily can lead into private messages, and then the whole 9 yards.
And then that's when it goes into an emotional affair.
On.
So.
Yes.
Well, and this is interesting too. Let's say you have a couple, and you've worked with a lot of different couples. Let's say if just one person wants to get the help and the other one doesn't. Is that still, can you manage to help that couple if only one?
Absolutely.
One wants to help?
It's a great question. Most of the time it's the way we start. Most of the time a wife will call me and say, my husband is fooling around, I think, on the side, or he's sharing information. I can just feel it in my vibes. He won't come in. Can you just work with me? And absolutely. And if one person is doing the work, over the course of time, I had mentioned to you beforehand, I'm working with this couple, and the wife came in and she's working, and the husband was adamant. I don't believe in counseling. There's no way you're going to get me in there. She came in and worked really hard for 6 months.
Without him?
Without him. He wouldn't have nothing to do with it. She changed so much at home by her understanding her role and her aggressiveness and nagging and all these things. She ended all of that. He finally called me one day and said, my wife has changed so much. I think it's time for me to work with you.
Well, and I think that's what's so relieving maybe for couples to hear this morning, if anyone's watching, is that there is hope. There is, for most cases, do you think you can help, a marriage or a couple?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. We've been doing it for so long. We know we can. And the thing with emotional affair we have to remember is that people are looking to get needs met that aren't being met at home. And that's the reason that we have emotional affairs, is that, their partner's not listening, their partner's too busy. We've worked with women that have come in, their husbands are not emotionally available, they're always at work, type of a thing. So all of a sudden a guy comes in and goes, hey, you're looking a little down today, what's going on? Oh, you wouldn't believe it. And then there's the emotional affair beginning.
I'd imagine forgiveness, resentfulness, a big key of this issue.
I'm so glad you said that. The number one reason for an emotional affair is resentment. The number one reason for a physical affair is resentment. There it is. That's why
Yeah.
they're equal, you know. So when you don't feel you're getting your needs met, you're going to look for someone else to do it. But we can turn it around, even if it just starts with one person.
Well, all right, let's say that one person is watching this morning. How can you help this morning? What would you encourage them to do?
Yeah, well, the very first thing to do is to write down what is it that they're missing from their relationship. What are they missing? The cuddling? Are they missing the sharing of their dreams? Are they missing when they come to their partner with a frustration? Does their partner just blow them off? What's missing? So when you write down what's missing, then you have a goal to go after. Number one. Number two is, and this is the most difficult question to answer, what's my role in what's missing?
People don't want to turn that
They
attention
don't want
on
to turn
them.
it attention. You know, have we asked our partner just one time for more attention? And that's it. We need to be more persistent. And we have a whole program set up to help people recover from either emotional or physical affairs.
And then again, it always goes back to that, which I love that you do this 100% money back guaranteed.
Yes.
If you're finding out that these programs aren't working for you, you've never had to do it though, but
No.
you like to extend the offer.
Well, you know, it's a faith-building exercise between me and the client. Like, they know that if they don't get what they want, they can get their money back. You're right, it's never happened, but we like to have people know they've got a guarantee.
Yeah.
So it's no risk.
No risk. Well, again, if you're watching this morning, you want to find out more about David, his programs. Again, he's so passionate about helping people. Just go to his website, talkdavid.com. You can find out more there. And then certainly keep watching Wednesday mornings right here on the Morning Blend, where you can see him, and you can also get more information there on our website, fox4morningblend.com. Thank you, David.
You're welcome, Carly.
A common condition is leaving far too many suffering in silence. Up next, we start talking about it and, more importantly, tell you what you can do about it. But first, a look at your Fox forecast and news headlines.